Hey there, fellow Palm Beachers. This is Andrew Burr, leader of the Andrew Burr Group here at Coldwell Banker. And today I have a message for you. It's more or less a message of hope. You know, there's a lot of terrible things going on right now. There's a lot of people that are being terribly affected. But we are fortunate that we live in Palm Beach County. Um, we can talk about South Florida as a whole, but I'm going to talk about South Palm Beach County specifically. Um, there's a couple of main reasons why. One is one of the leading factors is that Palm Beach County is a very desirable place for a lot of people. People that it's almost like mythology to some people, like Boca Raton. You go to the Midwest or up to Maine, Boca Raton is spoken of in reverent terms, like it's an illusionary place that in this wonderful magical, kingdom. Palm Beach, it's the mystique is incredible, and that is fortunate for us. We live in a sort of economy of our own that's been shown time in, time out. The economy here in Palm Beach County is driven by different forces than the economy of the rest of the United States, or in fact the world, although it is driven by the rest of the United States and in fact the world. One of the benefits of that is that Palm Beach County right now is, and it's incredible the deluge of inbound interest that we have right now from up north, from out west, from most of the big cities, from the UK, from other overseas sources. Not really turning this into a real estate post, but it's we're going to see a pretty incredible influx in a very short time. Okay, which we can sustain. And it will be a benefit to all of us, to all of our economies, to all of our businesses, now that we are able to at least partially reopen. The volume of people that are going to be coming here, at the very least temporarily, and for in a large case permanently, is going to be a boon to you, to I, and to everybody in our current local economy. Once again, we're very fortunate to be in that situation because there's a lot of local economies that people are fleeing to come here. So, my fellow Palm Beachers, I think right now is a great time to have a little hope, to have a little bit of a bright futures outlook. I think the next couple of months are going to be pretty darn good for us, barring another huge, turnaround in the COVID situation, which I don't have enough intelligence about the matter to have an opinion on it. So I am going to continue personally to use my mask and gloves when I'm doing business, showing property, going out in public. Whether you feel that's what you should do or not, that's your choice. I'm going to take the long-term approach and see what happens. My wife has an autoimmune disease. My parents are in their 80s, so I'm just going to go ahead and, for my part, be on the safe side. But that being said, like I said, I think that the next coming months are going to be, hopefully, surprisingly good for us here in Palm Beach County, and every indicator that I have available to me says that is going to be the case. There are some downsides. There's always downsides, and obviously, there are people that are still out there struggling, haven't worked, and things like that. My sincerest hope that this little boom that I think we're going to have will get the waitresses and waiters and bartenders back to work. It'll get the house cleaners back to work. It'll get those people that have been kind of marginalized and hurt the worst back to work, and I think it will. But in once again the larger sense, I think it's turning very positive very quickly. Now, one of the negative things that's happening, in real estate sense anyways, is commercial real estate. The landscape of real estate is going to change, and is changing already in multiple different ways. One of those ways is the commercial real estate markets. The retail sector and the office sector are in a pretty bad way right now, and I don't know that that's going to change. Particularly in the office, sort of specifically the office sector, because what's happened in the past couple of months is that people have been forced to telecommute, and companies have realized that they can still do their business with their people telecommuting, and rather than either paying $20,000 leases or more on office space, or spending millions of dollars purchasing offices, they can extremely downsize their office space. They're still going to need it. They're still going to need meeting spaces, things like that, but they don't need the massive office spaces that they need, because people with today's technology have managed to adapt fairly readily to working from home. And when I'm talking about these, I'm talking about bigger companies. I'm not talking about the individual, mom and pop like myself, or an attorney that is just him and a paralegal, or a couple of attorneys, like small. I'm talking about the bigger companies that rent out entire buildings or buy entire buildings and stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with those spaces, and if they can be transformed, and if so, how. The retail sector has been hurting for a while. Several years. It's been actually more than several years been on the decline. It's a big hit for them. I don't know what's going to happen with these big malls, like our regional malls. I think it's going to be a really dicey little dance, right? I think they're going to have to transform their makeup to adapt. I personally think that residential in those malls is a great idea, utilizing existing spaces, and just building them out differently. But that's I don't do a ton of commercial. I try not to. As you can tell, I'm not a suit and tie kind of guy, although those of you that have been following the goatee saga will be happy to know that I got out of the shower about a week ago, or maybe not even, like 4 or 5 days ago, and it looked like a gray squirrel had stuck its finger in a light socket, so I just went and I'm hoping to get out to my personal stylist, because I think my eyebrows are getting a little out of hand too. That being completely aside, the second way that the landscape is going to change, and is changing extremely rapidly, is people are fleeing the cities. This already started happening, the past 10 years or so, slightly. Then it started happening that a lot of people in the New York, New England area were fleeing New York and New England because of the salt tax, and then they had the storms, and it's just been a completely terrible, 5 years or so. For most of those people. Well, guess what? This just lit a match under that, and I think we're going to see a mass migration out of that area down to us. We're already seeing it. Once again, we're kind of deluged right now, which is one of the good things for our economy. But I think in general terms, cities are starting, and they have. And once again, this is not something that's brand new, but this COVID situation has just kind of accelerate a lot of this stuff. People have been moving, back out to the suburbs, or out to the suburbs for quite some time, and I think that's being accelerated right now. I have contacts in most of the major cities on the East Coast and several, in the West, and they're seeing people just kind of, saying, let's get out of here, let's get what we can get, let's get out of here, we want to get out of here, and I can't say that I blame them. And once again, all of these things come with their upsides and downsides. But once again, the message overall here is that I think that the Palm Beach County is going to be doing pretty good in pretty short order. Once again, barring a complete relapse and some craziness going on there. I don't know where this fly is coming from, but Wellington native fly, I'm sure. The horses have been around a lot longer than usual, so the flies are around a little bit more. At any rate, overall, this isn't, I'm not really hawking anything right now. I just want to kind of reach out to everybody and give a little message of how hopeful I am, and how, right now my outlook is very positive, and we're looking, I think, at a couple of really strong months coming up, and let's hope we can keep that going. If you do there is one real estate thing here that is important to know. So, if you've been a follower of these messages, we had a really big lag for, I don't know, I want to say like 3 weeks in our everything shut down really bad for about 3 weeks. But right now we're opening up again as far as transactionally. We're still super short on inventory in some areas out, Palm Beach County. I'm only talking about Palm Beach County. We operate in a couple other counties, but right now I want to focus on Palm Beach County. We have super short. I mean, we have less than 2 months of inventory. In some places, I think less than 1 month of inventory in specific locales. Western County, mid central Western County, North County for sure. Some of the South County. So, West Palm Beach, which is not a huge hub or huge city by any means, is not faring as well as far as I can tell right now. And I don't know if that bears any relation on the larger cities issues and things like that. But there's that sort of central east area that's not really not as desperate for inventory as some of the areas. But and then there's different price points, as there always is. One of the things that's beneficial about the mass exodus for the Northeast is that some of the price points that have been sluggish for over the past couple of years are actually picking up, and a lot of convolution there. But anyways, if you have questions about any of this, if you want to talk about it, if you want to find out specific things that I can point to that lead towards the hope I'm talking about, or you have specific questions about residential mainly. I do some commercial, but I do commercial light, so I can't I wouldn't put myself as an expert on the office buildings. I just know what the experts and what the people I refer to, that big stuff, are telling me. Anyways, I'm Andrew Burr, leader of the Andrew Burr Group at Coldwell Banker. My telephone number is 561-324-8914. You can reach out to me on Facebook at, it's actually going to be the Andrew Burr Group shortly, but right now it's in the middle of a sort of convoluted process. So if you just do facebook.com/Realtor Andrew, all one word, Realtor Andrew, that'll get you to the page. You can reach out to me by email at realtorandrew1@yahoo.com. That's realtorandrew, the number 1 at yahoo.com. And you can always check me out online at www.southfloridarealestatenow.com. If you, if you have the same hope that I do, I'd love for you guys to post and, let me know that you have the same hope. If you got questions about it, or you got people that you think need to hear this message of hope, send it out to them, share it with them. Send them my way. I'm more than happy to let them know how I came to this conclusion and how I feel about it. Till we see you the next time out in public, and hopefully, we'll see. How long? It depends on how long it's going to be before I see you. But you guys have a great day, and remember that Palm Beach is a great place to live, and we are very, very fortunate to be here. So have a great day.